I am the Queen of Zandalar, and a queen kneels to no one.
They should use their minds to save the world, instead of devising ways to tear it apart.
No. Not while the Black Moon still cries out for vengeance. Not until the Horde has answered for its treachery.
The war is serving its purpose. Stay focused on the endgame. You know what is to come.
The two essential weapons of an adventurer. A bottle of good gin and a jar of tasty jam. This is Girls Gone WoW!
Hello, you're listening to Girls Gone WoW show 685, recorded on Sunday the 3rd of May 2026. I'm your host EJ. With me I have my lovely co-host Raven. How are you doing, lovely lady?
I am very tired today. I don't really know why. I guess I did a certain amount of running around to that London town yesterday. And I had to feed the ponies this morning, so yeah, I don't really know why, but I just feel quite tired today. How are you?
Well, having a few technical issues with the house.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Apart from the fact all your water's in the wrong place.
Yeah, so having some house technical issues. I had too much pressure in one of my eyes the other day, so that was a small issue. But apart from that, it's all going okay. It's all going okay. I've also got the tired. I mean, I at least know why I'm super tired. Most of the sort of bonus side effects from my meds seem to have sort of chilled out a little bit, apart from the tiredness. The tiredness doesn't seem to be going anywhere, which is a little bit tedious. But yeah, otherwise not too bad. We are very pleased to be joined by a guest again this week, and this week Trey has returned for his regularly scheduled visit to Sears. Hello Trey, how are things with you?
The things are very much adult-filled weekends. I don't have leaky water. I do have a HVAC system I need to replace. The HVAC, the guy came by and said, "Oh, well, the good news is it works. Bad news is it's old enough to drink in the U.S. So it's 22 years old."
Oh,
gosh.
So, that's a bit old. So yeah, nothing that money can't fix. Yeah.
Hooray!
I know that feeling.
Grind some cash or something.
Yeah.
Can you do some weekly quests now?
Yeah.
Do you
get gold? Gold for weeklies.
That would be nice. That would be a nice change. I think I could probably fund the thing with the gold I've got.
Let's find out. We've told you about our interesting weeks, but what's been going on interestingly in the World of Warcraft? So welcome to May, everybody. Don't forget that the Darkmoon Fair arrived today.
Oh, yes.
So it'll be here for a week. So if you're interested in profession points, don't forget to go and get those. Also, if you've got a new alt and you've only picked up midnight professions, don't forget to go and at least unlock the War Within and Dragonflight versions of those professions, because when you give in a professions quest, not only does it give you knowledge points towards midnight, it still gives you knowledge points towards the War Within and Dragonflight version of those professions. So don't miss out on those points every time, as I might have done on a couple of characters today when I went, oh. Well. So yeah, there you go. Tip for everybody, because I let me make that mistake, so you don't have to.
It's very generous of you, EJ.
Thank you. I like to do these things. I like to help out. The other great thing about it being a new month is the Trading Post have refreshed their stock. This month's theme is all things Gilnean, with the ensemble Pyrewood Rebel Streetwear Transmog being the monthly bar reward. It's a very dapper looking outfit. There are 3 mounts to choose for, 2 of which are delightfully chonky horses. So you can get 2 different flavoured chonky horses, and whatever the other one was, I didn't pay attention. There's also 2 pets, and a heap of Gilnean-inspired transmog and weapons, including some amazing hats that actually allow your hair to show. I can't believe we've got 20 years in and actually we can put a hat on our head and see our hair.
Now we can do proper hats.
Incredible.
Yeah, the chunky horses are lovely, but the saddles are really weird.
I mean, this I'm going to bow completely to your expertise in this area, because I'm just like...
But the chunky horses are nice. The chunky horses are nice.
I like the fact that they're chunky, and also this one that I put in the show notes looks a little bit angry, and I like.
Yeah, this one's really fucking cross.
Yeah, he's very angry about something.
Yeah, that was what I arrived at the yard to at 8 o'clock this morning. 7 angry horses because they hadn't been fed yet. I then shut them out the barn whilst I was making their feed, and all I could hear whilst I was making the feeds up was people like kicking the barn door and the sounds of what I think was somebody like rubbing on the barn. I think somebody was trying to rub their bum on the barn door.
Just rub this door a little bit, will it open?
I then heard the noise, so there was a sort of kicking at the barn door, and then there was a like rubbing sound, and then I heard a sound that sounded like the main gate, and I was like, oh shit, have somebody, like, so I went running over and I opened the barn door to find one of the horses playing with something on the gate. Whilst all of the other horses were like, oh hello, can we come in the barn now please? It was like, no, you can't come in the barn. No, you can't come in the barn. I haven't made your feet up. I haven't made your feet up.
Go on. You make the noise, and then she'll open the door, and then we can get in the barn.
And then when I did open the barn, oh my god. So I made all their feeds up, and then I opened the barn door, and the boss horse came in first, and he went into the stable that he usually goes into, and then the racehorse came in. And the racehorse went into a different stable than he usually goes in, and then Dino came in, and Dino went into the third stable, which is where he goes. And so I shut all of them in the 3 stables, and then usually Fred, who's Dino's best friend, would be... Well, usually the racehorse is in the barn, and Fred is in the stable, so it was a bit confusing. Yes. And then, but Fred was nowhere to be seen, because he was miles away, still in the field, still eating. Because he just hadn't come in with everybody else. So... Then I went and got the food for the 3 that were stabled. And by the time I'd done that, Fred had appeared and was really cross that he hadn't been fed. And I was like, well, you weren't fucking here, were you? Like, okay.
I'm here now.
Yeah, so then I had to feed him. And then I had to feed the outside horses, because there's outside horses that are not allowed in the stable. Hilariously, the outside horses know they're outside horses, so you don't have to shut them out. They just don't come in. So they were like standing there, like waiting for me to feed them. Anyway, it was very exciting. Everybody got fed. It was totally fine. Anyway, back to World of Warcraft. Next Saturday, the 9th of May, sees the return of LFG London, a World of Warcraft community event hosted by Mr. GM and attended by us, hopefully, as well as loads of other content creators like Bear's Adventures and Kexman and T&E. It will be co-streamed on the official Warcraft Twitch channel from 2 PM to 5 PM and LFG's own channel from 2 PM to 8 PM. There are still tickets left if you would like to attend. They cost £17. We'll leave the link in Discord, or you can Google it. But yes, LFG London happening next weekend somewhere in East London. Hackney, yeah, in a different place from where it was last time, so I should probably look out where it is before I try to go to it on Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't looked
slightly from.
Oh, I haven't looked about the train situation.
Well, whilst Raven checks out the train situation, which is important business, I will start us on our topic for the week. We've got to the 4th zone, which is Voidstorm. Xalatath's launching point for her attack on the Sunwell that exists at the nexus of void energies throughout the cosmos. We wanted to talk about the questing and the story that we uncovered there. So, things a little TLDR about what we found there. So this is not the Void's homeworld. Instead, we learn from Akintunde, the Unstoppable, that it was once a world called Predacia, a world of knowledge and scholarship that was devastated by war. Akintunde was commissioned by one of the warring empires to create a weapon that would end war forever.
Because creating a weapon is the best way to achieve that. Always the best way to achieve that. To make a really big weapon. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And he, to be fair, he followed the brief very, very precisely, because he created something that basically raised all of civilization.
Yep. Nobody could possibly have predicted that was going to happen. Nope.
Yeah. When they realised what he'd done, he was locked away by those who had commissioned him to do this before they were lost in the final wave of destruction. And we come across him during our ambling around the Void Sphere. All the cities were destroyed and only tiny forms of life remained. Those have evolved over time into the highly aggressive creatures that we meet around the zone, which is why everything aggroes on you the minute you look at it.
Yeah, it's a pretty annoying zone.
Zalatath was able to use the power of the Dark Heart, with Dementia sealed within it, to create the Voidstorm on Predacia. And there's speculation that the world is her homeworld that was depicted in the Supremacy cinematic.
Over time, creatures of the Void, including the Dominar, have arrived to inhabit the space. They've just moved in. The Dominar are chief amongst Zalatath's followers and commanders of the Devouring Host. They're normally solitary, but have formed an alliance of sorts with Zalatath after she arrived and consumed their High Lords. Because nothing says, like, welcome to the new people who've just arrived, like, eating their High Lords. So it didn't gain them... It didn't gain her their loyalty so much as they were like, well, I guess this is happening. Great. Through questing through the zone, we capture and then form our own cautious alliance with the one remaining High Lord who didn't get eaten, who's the one and only Decimus. He warned us that no Dominar can be trusted, but he's helped us kill all the other Dominars and create a blade of great power, or something. Still not sure about what we're doing for Decimus, if we're being honest. We do not yet know what his end game is. He does want quite a lot from crafting tables, like I quite often do.
Yes.
Quite often my alchemy crafting is like, oh, Decimus wants some more potions. Okay.
And he is trying to gear us up, because he's the chap. He's now giving us bonus
he's giving us
rolls,
this
and it's like,
fucking weird shit. Yeah.
Well, what's all this about? So yeah, who knows what he's up to? But yes, I mean, he cannot be trusted. We know he cannot be trusted, but we're doing the do.
But every time you go and see him, he says, "Oh, my favourite Azerothian."
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, okay. My favourite High Lord Dominar.
Yeah, cool. All right, champ.
Okay. The zone contains the dungeon Nexus Point Zenus.
Oh, that's what it's called. There we go. It's got a name. Nexus Point Jam Face. I can never remember what it's fucking called.
Nexus Point Jam Face, which what used to be a hub of innovation. It's now overrun with unstable void and arcade energy.
Hub of innovation. It's just stuffed full of void creatures.
Well, innovative. Void things.
Like, remember back in the day, it was like a scholastic place. This is where they did stuff. The final boss, weirdly, is little Thraxian, who stormed the dungeon on his own once he became a bit blinded in his faith of the light, and was like, oh, all void is evil, I need to sort this out.
Yeah, just sort of...
So he decided that what he needs to do is breach the Nexus core, and we go and stop him, because if he does... the eruption from the Nexus core would annihilate Silver Moon and then just ripple out across Azeroth. So we have to go and kill.
Yeah, we'll get to that story beat in a minute. It was a bit confusing. Second dungeon is the Voidscar Arena, which is run by Overseer Charnorus, and has collected opponents from across Azeroth to participate in his games. Because why the fuck not? this dungeon is the culmination of the PvP area, which is called Slayer's Rise. There are 2 Dominar lords. They've been fighting for control. Vidius, the Dominar of Grief, and Ziodan, the Dominar of Hate. They've realised that collaborating is more beneficial than fighting each other after they did spend quite a lot of time fighting each other. And now the zone is used by them to conduct battle exercises, lol, and training. They're fascinated by the faction war between the Horde and Alliance and are actively trying to recruit more bloodthirsty to fight in their PvP playground. They just needed some really shitty story to do some PvP because they realised they hadn't done any PvP. So there's shitty story PvP, but if you want to do PvP, this is where the PvP happens, so have fun. You can quest in the zone without engaging in PvP, technically, although it often flags you anyway, as you need to enable war mode for that, technically, which can be done by talking to the Dominars over at the Master's Perch. There's timed events and its own faction called the Slayer's Duelum, which focuses on PvP void rewards.
The Voidspire is our 6-man boss raid, created by Xalatath using the power of the Dark Heart and the techniques learned from the Dominar. We battle against members of the Devouring Host and fallen King Salad Bar. We see the light become a force of tyranny with the dragons
and there's a
the
Godzilla.
light-binded vanguard.
And there's a Godzilla.
Yes. Well, he's part of the Devouring Host.
I know, but, you know, he deserves a little special answer.
Okay,
he deserves
and Godzilla.
And a little Godzilla. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, and he does have, like, that whole mouth beam thing that he does is, like, very impressive.
Yeah, it is.
And then we finally face Ilaria, who has succumbed to the pull of the void and pays the ultimate price as the void Naru Lura is pulled out of her when Xalatath stabs her literally in the back to unleash it.
Yeah. Are we surprised? No, not really. The weekly sorry.
I mean, I was genuinely, like, just before it happened, I was like, oh no. But I was genuinely surprised that she actually stabbed her.
I'm not sure I was.
I knew she was going to do something, but I thought that, like, we would end up, we would do something and it would force Lura out. Yeah. I didn't realise. Yeah. I hadn't realised that Xalatath was actually going to get that hands-on, because she's been relatively hands-off until now.
Yeah, all the manipulating, and then from a distance, oh, I don't want to get my hands dirty.
Well, yeah. But getting your hands dirty when it's stabbing Illyria Windrunner and your Xalatath, I think that's, you know, I wasn't hugely surprised. Anyway, we shall see. I think we'll be seeing more of Illyria. I don't think that's that. The weekly quest for the zone is called the Stormarian Assault, a tower defense event that occurs every 30 minutes. You defend a singularity anchor, whatever the fuck that is, from 3 waves of enemies, building defenses between each assault to help with the battle. Yeah. Preparation here, as well as world and story events, will award rep for the Singularity Renown faction led by the alliance between the Rendorai. Led by the alliance between the Rendorai with Master Umbric and Decimus, who are trying to fight back the Void and Xalatath. Why is this zone so terrible, EJ? Also, what the fuck is a singularity anchor? What is it doing? Why is it there? Why does it need defending? If it needs this much defending, why did they put it there? Like, it's in the middle of all the void.
I mean, I think
put it somewhere else.
All agree. I think we can all agree it's the most tedious weekly event.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, it's just like it's actually slightly better if there's less people there, because it tends to scale up with how many people are lurking. And what I find sometimes is that people will lurk to get credit for it, but don't participate, which actually makes the whole thing more tedious. And yeah, as Marie says, it's just boring.
Yeah,
it takes too long.
It takes a long time.
It comes in 3 phases, and the time between the phases is too long.
Yeah.
Like each of the it's just very dull. I mean, I quite like being able to like put the defenses up. Like that's literally the thing I like it. I like being able to go there. I'll put up this sort of defense, and that's the only thing I like about it. And then you have to do a mad scrabble to try and kill. Because one of the quests you get up there is kill 2 of the rares that only spawn after the event has happened.
Yeah.
And you have to scrabble to get to kill 2 of them before everybody else kills 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then you might have to wait another half hour until the rare comes up.
Yeah.
So,
it's not ideal.
And yeah, quite frankly, if that singularity anchor is that important, they
Leave
should
it. Yeah, just put it somewhere else. Like if it's that important,
like,
don't leave it in the middle of
build,
Voidstorm.
Build something around it, or put some sort of permanent defense up. Not the
Yeah.
It's terrible. I have to say, when I think this zone feels like it's the zone that had the least amount of work done on it. And way back in alpha, when I quest tested this area, I put in a lot of feedback and basically said, look, this feels like I'm doing the same quest over and over again, just in a different part of the map.
Yeah.
And it's just exhausting.
Yeah, the questing here was not interesting. I mean,
there are moments that are beautiful. Like there's that whole quest where some of those little quests where you're doing things for 2 NPCs that are very close with each other, and you know, there's a couple of moments that are really beautiful and very sad.
Yes.
But most of it is just
most of it was
kill some
terrible
stuff because they're bad guys or bad creatures.
Yeah.
It's a sort of weird vehicle for making Lothraxians suddenly go, oh, you're all just shit. I'm running away to sort it out myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lothraxian?
Yeah,
no. And then you have to kill Lothraxian.
The campaign quest through this zone is just really weird. Like, Lothraxian's just getting more and more pissed off for no reason. And then eventually he's like, well, I'm going to go and end the world then. And you're like, well, that seems a little bit drastic. Wouldn't you like to come, like, why, let's talk about it, Lothraxian? And it's like, no, we've got to go and kill Lothraxian now. Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's go kill Lothraxian then. Sure. So then you have to go kill Lothraxian. It's super weird. And then the raid is also a bit, like, I don't dislike the raid, but the raid has a lot of, like, it's just weird, the sort of story of the raid. So you sort of go through the raid, and then everybody suddenly gets, like, consumed by the light. So suddenly the paladins will, like, become really, like, hostile. And then Ilaria dies, except obviously she doesn't, I mean, obviously she's not dead. I don't think. But it's...
Yeah, well, I think we've got at least one more story beat out of her and Teralia.
Yeah, I don't think that's the end of it. Ilaria, but it's just, I don't know, it just felt weird. Story-wise, it felt weird. Tactics-wise, it was mostly fine apart from the dragons. Let's not talk about the dragons.
It's just...
merged together.
Yeah, the whole PvP zone at the top. I mean, I'm very pleased that for...
Oh yeah, and then you wander up to the top of the zone. You're just like sauntering along the top of the zone, and suddenly it's like, hey, welcome to our PvP battle arena. And you're like, welcome to your what now? Excuse me, we've got like a big problem at the other end of the zone. Like Lothraxian's attempting to destroy the world, and Illyria's like in pieces, and everybody's got a bit mad. Yeah. No, you're just having a fun PvP battle time. Oh, okay, great. You do you. Up here, out of the way, cool, nice.
It all feels like super disjointed. Like every area sort of feels quite disjointed from each other. And obviously the ethereals are all there because they've all jumped. I mean, I understand why the ethereals are there after Koresh and stuff like that. But you're like, haven't we just done ethereals?
Yeah. And then Decimus is super weird. And you have to go and, like, do all of the weird stuff for Decimus. And then there's also the research console. I don't really know what the research console is about, but there's a research console.
So I've filled that out, and it means that occasionally, if I fly around, there are some Renderai that have got a little campfire in. If I concentrate on the campfire for 20 minutes, it gives me a buff.
Okay.
And I'm like... Okay, which I've done a couple of times, and then I'm like, I don't really think this is like don't think this makes much difference to me either way. So off I go again.
Yeah, Marie says Marie says, I'm disappointed in Lothraxion because, like, you've hunted the Fel for a millennia and then 1 week with the Void pushes you over the edge. Yeah, it did feel a bit like that. Yeah. So you've been doing this for tens of thousands of years. And, like, no, okay, we've had enough now. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I don't quite... There are bits where I understand how the story they're trying to tell. Like if you just do the campaign story, if you don't do all the side stuff, you just do the campaign story, you're like, oh, okay, so we're here, and then we need some intel, so we've captured this Dominar. Oh, okay, you're going to be our friend. You're probably not going to be our friend, are you? But okay, we'll go along with it for a bit because we need some intel.
Curse your inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, and then Lothraxion goes a bit weird. And then we find the Void Spire, and we're like, oh, this is probably where we'll find Xalatath. So understand that. That makes sense. The side stuff is just... It just feels like I don't understand why I'm doing most of it. Apart from, like I said, the couple of stories where you get a real... you get some really sad stories about people who give themselves up to protect their fellows.
Yeah. But you had that story in like 4 separate side quests. Like every time you turn up to a new place, there's like somebody who's like, hello, my friend's gone missing. Can you help me find my friend? And I was just like, by the time you get to the 4th like little hub, you're like, oh, they're going to have gone mad with Void, and like they'll either already be dead or we'll have to kill them. Yes. So I mean, I can deal with this for you. Be lovely if you gave me some gold. That'll be great. But I just want to, warn you that this is not going to turn out well for you. And sure enough, almost everybody. What was your friend doing when you last saw him? Oh, researching the Void. Right. Okay. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yes. So I felt like if they'd done that like once, like in a really super like heartwarming, charming way, that would have been fine. But they did it like 4 times, and then I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll murder your friend. It's totally fine.
If they'd just done it. There's the storyline where you have to make the tea and you have to like...
Oh yeah, that was nice. I quite liked that.
Like, if they'd just done that one...
Yeah.
Because at the end of it, you go back to Silvermoon and you talk to somebody in Silvermoon who knew the person and you share tea together.
Yeah.
And there's a beautiful bit at the end of that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Where you get to say something to, like, an image of yourself. And actually the list of things can be anything from, like, you're an amazing hero... to like it's okay, it's going to get better. Like there were lots of different ways of responding, and I was like, actually I really like this. I think this
the tea one was nice. The tea one
and
was
maybe
nice.
the one where like the paladin literally goes up in smoke in front of your eyes. That one particularly I found quite heart-wrenching. But like the other ones were like, I feel like I've done this now.
Yeah.
I'm like, your friends, your friends probably.
Yeah, probably been
not coming back.
Probably been eaten by Void. Sorry about that. I'll go fetch their body for you if you want. It's totally fine. It might not be dead yet. I can bring it back dead or alive. Do you have a preference? It won't be your friend. Probably should specify. Also, the chief delve person is down there in Voidstorm. I don't even know what that's about. Like apart from the fact
Nullius.
Nullius. Like he's just like a random Void dude. So you'll be doing I don't know. He doesn't feel like I like delves. I love delves. We're gonna talk about delves next week. But he doesn't. I don't know what his story is. I felt like I knew a little bit more, like about what Kaivessa's story was. Like Nullius, like periodically, I'm in a delve and like, hello, I'm Nullius. I'm going to kill you now, and you're like, no, you're not. And then
except he doesn't. He's got 2 little like angry bugs that want to try and kill you, and he just stands there going, oh, look at me, and you're like. Hi.
Okay, all right. Hi, I'll kill your bug friends. I've killed your bug friends. Yeah. There you go. Okay, well, bye now. I only knew his house was in Voidstorm because when I got his quest, it said, by the way, Nullius's house is in Voidstorm. And I was like, well, I guess he's a Voidy type person, so I guess that's where the Voidy type people live. I don't know. I don't know what it is he has against elves. I don't know what his story is. I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't like. He's just the delve boss person, and he lives in Voidstorm.
Yeah. I mean, before I write the show notes for next week,
maybe you'll find out.
See if anybody knows this.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week I can tell you what his story is.
Okay.
But no, you're right. Like at least the other two, I felt a little bit more like, oh, okay, I understand how you fit in.
They at least said like a sentence or two about like what it is they were trying to achieve. Whereas he's just like, hello, I'm going to kill you. Oh, my friends are going to kill you now. Okay, cool. Well, they failed. Is that a problem? Yeah. Okay, you go back to your house then. Fine. Bye.
Trey, this zone has got Raven and I very, very animated, so we're going to shut up for a bit and let you tell us your thoughts about the Voidstorm.
So, first off, I did promise a friend of mine that I would bring up this point. Does the geography of it look like it's actually there was water where some of these caverns are, or canyons? Because it seems like it's very like water has gone through a lot of this. And I was like, okay, I can see it through the geology of everything. But all right, first off, I love purple. This is too much fucking purple.
Yeah, it is quite hard to see.
It's just a bit much. And it's kind of depressing. You know, at some point it's like so much angst, so much darkness, so much whatever. I mean, it was the last one I did. I'm still working through everything as far as the side quest with it. But it was just, it was missing something. I liked how it wrapped up things, but I wanted more stuff between the mother and her son. You know, something there. There was good stuff there, but I wanted something else with it. That he succumbs to the void, and she brings him out of it and teaches him how to use it, since he's a person of both light and void. You know, I think there was a ball dropped. It could have been a lot more of that. This void, was it the void anvil thing you've got to do? I can't figure that thing out. I've looked at everything. I've gone through Wowhead. God love Wowhead. And I can never get it to work, because as a hunter, in situations like this, I dismiss my pet. Please, hunters of Warcraft, dismiss your fucking pet when it's in a small, enclosed area. Particularly if you've got the big friggin' ones. Pet peeve. Sorry, I'll put my ranty pants off. But Ams was a blessing in the spoils channel by telling me that, you know, we would get rid of Lithaxia, because, as Marie said in the chat channel, millennia of being annoyed by the Fel, and all of a sudden a week in, you know, chat in this area, you're tweaking over the void, everything must die. But yeah, it wasn't as good as all the other zones. I would say, as far as storyline, it was good, but not as good. But that's just random thoughts on there. I'll end up finishing. Maybe I'll have a new thing. But also, I did not expect to cry about was it the thrice exiled Draenei?
Thrice exiled Draenei. That storyline.
Yeah, that was quite good.
Yeah, that was
very, very good.
That was good. That was worth the effort.
You can hug those NPCs, and if you hug them, especially the thrice forgotten, the thrice exiled, you get a different response if you hug her when she's twice exiled, and then if you hug her again when she's thrice exiled.
Oh.
Wow.
You get two different responses from her, and you know, little touches like that were.
Yeah,
I think that's what's so disappointing about that zone, is there are so many little touches in there that are beautiful and tragic and emotional, but the whole thing feels a little bit disjointed and rushed. Like the Lothraxian thing is just weird.
It just sort of comes really out of left field. This is sometimes, I find this a little bit sometimes with the final zones of an expansion. It just feels a bit sometimes like by the time we get to the final zone, they're really dialing it in a little bit. It's like, oh, we're thinking about the raid now, we're thinking about kind of other bits and pieces, and we've just slightly lost some attention on whatever it is that we were doing. So it doesn't have the sort of the tight feeling that Eversong had, or that like Zulaman had. It doesn't have that like strong story beat all the way through, and I don't think it helps that they'd had to like, you know, we need somewhere to do some PvP.
Area.
Yeah, we need somewhere to do some PvP. There has to be some PvP for the PvP people. So I guess we're going to stick it here. And I guess we're just going to say it's because we're sticking it here.
Because Dominar like whimsy. And so this is where they put their whimsical PvP area.
Yeah.
What?
It's a bit weird.
Here's a thought for the channel and everybody else listening later on. You should watch it live because it's awesome. However, does anybody else think that this zone was the least buggy zone out of all the zones we've had so far?
So the thing about this zone, which happened during testing and was still happening quite early on, is there were areas and there's still occasionally, there are some areas where you'll go in and you cannot get out of combat. Or it doesn't do it anymore, but there were some areas where it would just DC you. I got a couple of those trenches where you cannot get out of combat.
Yeah, I got
really frustrating.
I got DC'd quite a bit. But I've been getting some DCs just generally. I don't know. This computer's probably getting on a bit now. I don't really want to have to buy a new one. But
I'm with the Raven on that one.
But yeah.
Okay. Channel says Marie says she doesn't have many bugs. Soundless, not many computer bugs. Soundless, I'm not going to ask you what sort of bugs you ran across because it's you. So
void bugs. Lots of void.
Not getting out of combat one is just. And really especially in an area like that where you can't easily like run away because everything's vertical around you, and you're like,
right, exactly.
Well, now I'm stuffed. So, what did the rest of you think about the Voidstorm? Salmis says, "This is Salmis reporting in for this week's topic. Have fun storming the void." This place is built around constant conflict and survival of the fittest. The Dominar mainly seek to maintain advantage over others, and even find ways to abduct people and beasts from other realms to use as gladiators for influence and entertainment. While I have had fun exploring the strange, desolate landscape, it remains an uncomfortable place, much like listening to a playlist of knife sharpening on Spotify, but without ad breaks.
No!
I'm glad I chose to pursue questing on my warlock. When questing, there are many times I was attacked by stray beasts that weren't core parts of the quest. Having a pet take extremely frequent aggro is very helpful, absolutely. Our tentative native ally, Decimus, makes no pretense that our alliance is one of convenience. We are tools to help them gain and maintain advantage over others of their kind. I have to say, I do enjoy the zone event, the Stormerian Assault, but not with Salmis. Having the ranged option with my Warlock makes that event far more enjoyable. While I haven't played it with a group, I think that would also make it more fun, rather than trying to do it on my own. We could plan our defence and make it a lot less chaotic. The local questing related to how Void Elves relate to their own struggles and how they're perceived by the Blood Elves are poignant, as well as a few quests exploring how Warlocks relate to utilising Void powers. The quests that tell the story of an abducted tribe of Draenei also make a worthwhile story that I'm sure we will see more of in the future. All in all, I would give questing in the Void Spire the Darwin Award. Salmis out.
It sounds like Salmis had more fun there than you and I did, EJ.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that like somebody has had more fun with it. Absolutely. I mean, yes, it is nice to see, Void Elves trying to sort of understand who they are and how they relate to other elves. But personally for me, I found that those stories got lost in the unending grind of killing a bunch of bugs, coming back to a place, killing another bunch of bugs. Maybe if there'd been more things there than bugs, maybe if I'd just been killing more things than bugs, but it just felt like I killed a lot of bugs in a lot of different areas, and it's like, couldn't all you NPCs get together and give me just one shopping list? And they'd be like, right, so you want some eyes, and you want some some carapaces, and you want some legs, and you want some of the blood, and then I can just bring it all back. I've got infinite bag space now, fellas. I can bring it all back in one go.
Well, it sounds like Phoenix here also enjoyed the zone. So Phoenix here says, where do I begin? Firstly, I got to shout out the music here. It was so cool. Seriously though, this zone made me cry like 4 times. The whole thing with Illyria and Arator, having them get closer and watching their bond get deeper was so moving. The paladin lady trying to find her bow and eventually dying to try and save him. The now thrice exiled Draenei lady. Lastly, the whole story brewing the tea that helped the Rendori confront their struggles. All so good. I didn't expect to like Voidstorm so much. It was a really good story. Yeah, I mean, I think those story beats are the ones I enjoyed. I just found that the other bits I had to do were a bit too annoying. The music was pretty good. I wouldn't say, like, I still think the music is better in Harrendar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and actually, like, Phoenix here has illustrated all of the good bits. I think there are good bits. I think, unfortunately, it's all the bits that annoy me that unfortunately have taken a larger space up in my brain, which is a bit of a shame. Queen Smedry says, am I biased because my main is a Void Elf? Yes. Do I care? No.
Fair enough.
Voidstorm was the first zone that kicked my teeth in. It made me switch to the tank spec and made me fall for tanking. I have never looked back.
Nice.
It was where I made my first WoW friend because I needed quest help. It's harsh, it's brutal, and the stories make me feel things. Unlike Zulaman or Harrendar, it doesn't have a, here's the main character and you're going to follow him around. It's a combination of about 3 storylines, including one that started in Telegrass Rift. This is where the Void Elves found their home.
Yeah, I did find...
I'm glad you are all having a good time with this. This is great.
I did feel quite squishy in Voidstorm when I first got there. Like, it did feel like everything was hitting quite hard. So I did die quite a bit, which I think also kind of coloured my opinions. Because as you said, there were a few places where you got stuck in combat and you just couldn't kind of go anywhere. And then if you're running places on foot, you suddenly find you're in like an elite area and it's like, oh, this mob's got 5 million health and it's trying to kill me. That's probably bad. So, but I'm glad that you're all having lots of fun. Marie says, Marie's having less fun. Marie says, I found Voidstorm deeply aesthetically unpleasant, though not as bad as Maldraxxus. But many of the minor stories were neat. I liked the reversal of my expectation when Lady Darkglen appeared to run off cackling, but instead was not consumed by void power. She is low-key one of my favourite Midnight characters now. Oh, and I did think they gave a good reason for the PvP. The factions aren't at war, and this activity isn't sanctioned by the leadership, but some people can't let go of grudges. Maybe. I was less convinced.
Yeah, fair enough.
There are certainly people who don't like the fact that we are all trying to be slightly more friendly with each other because we've realised that there are bigger and badder things out there. So, cool. Ams says, hold on, I've broken my toy.
Oh no, you've broken your fidget toy.
No, it's all right. It has little like keys in it, but if I ping them in the wrong direction, I can pull them out of the thing.
Oh.
So, yeah.
This is not an indestructible fidget toy.
No. So, Ams says, everything about Voidstorm is meh. I was actually quite excited about it, and it had so much potential, but after already being over Terralion being a wet wipe for the whole expansion so far, I had 0 patience for Orthraxian to be an even wetter wipe. Everything about his light fuel madness, pomp and righteous bigotry was lame, including the dungeon he's part of. Yawn. I also found the Sojourners a bit of a drag, but I'm not sure if that was just because I'd unlocked the end game and it felt like it was vying for my time. I neither like nor dislike the delves here. They're a bit annoying at times, but they're okay. The only thing I liked about the Voidstorm was Decimus and Umbric having importance. The raid was good too, especially the cutscene at the end. All in all, it was a slightly disappointing end to a great expansion.
I do wonder whether the part of the problem with the final zones is that everybody, like, often when I get to the final zone, everybody else has already finished and like has gone on to end game. So maybe I'm just not giving it a fair kind of shake, because it feels like, oh, there's lots of other things I could be doing. Like I should be getting ready for raid. I should be doing other bits and pieces. It's like I just want to get through this, and it feels like it's taking forever. So I wonder, maybe it's got a bit of last zone itis. Maybe that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah. And I think Salmus makes a good point by saying that Harrendar sets a pretty high bar. So
Harrendar
you come
does
out
set
of
a pretty
Harrendar,
high. Yeah.
and then you go in, and I think that also has something to do with it. But I think you're right. When you're like, you can see like a particular goal is almost there, and this is the thing that's in the way, and somebody's asking you to do something, and you're like, oh, I just need to finish this thing. Yeah, I mean, probably that's got something to do with it. It might be interesting to come back and do the zone on an alt in maybe 6 months' time or something, and actually see if I feel differently about it when I've not put any sort of pressure. And perhaps, because obviously once you've done the whole campaign once, you can choose where you start. So maybe start in Void. And see if that makes me feel differently about it.
Yeah. Finally, Graphis says, I found this to be the most repetitive zone, 2 out of 10. I think it was too close to Crash to be unique and stand out. The PvP zone at the top can be fun, but the rest is lackluster. Okay, so Ams and Graphis were in our camp, but actually most other people did find things to like about the zone, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I think... so basically, Voidstorm is the Marmite of the expansion, is what we're saying.
Oh, maybe that's what I'll call this episode.
Anybody who's not from the UK, the tagline for Marmite, which is a
which is disgusting,
put on your
absolutely
toast,
vile. It's terrible. It's
delicious.
The worst thing in the entire history of the world. Yep.
But yeah, their tagline is, you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Voidstorm is the Marmite of midnight.
Yeah, you can't have a slightly ambivalent feeling about Marmite, and it is the worst thing in the world. It's one of the few things that EJ is wrong about.
Yum, 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 yum. I protect you from all oncoming Marmites. That is one of my roles in life. Like, no, Raven, stay out of the way. The Marmite's coming. I will protect you. See?
I will gladly be protected from Marmite because it's terrible. If you are enjoying the show, perhaps you could give us a like or a post a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening. We're trying to grow our audience a bit this year, and we'd love to have you help us reach out to new people. We'd also love for you to join our Discord channel over bit.ly/ggw-discord. We are part of the WoW Ambassadors Discord program, so we do occasionally have giveaways and things sponsored by Blizzard. You can also watch our show live on Sundays at 8 PM London or midday Pacific at twitch.tv/SilkyRaven.
Lovely. Well, it's that time of the show where we settle down, get yourself a drink and maybe some tissues. You never know what you're going to hear from Cassunda.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the little sentence telling us what happened last time, didn't I? That's bad.
Hold on, there's a little catch-up sentence.
There's a little catch-up sentence, and I've archived it. Hang on.
Oh,
The catch-up sentence says, previously on the Cassunda Chronicles, Cassunda received news of a possible cloaks operation in Stormwind, and heads there quickly. There we go. Let's find out what's going on.
The Cassunda Chronicles, Dockwork, Part 1. Greetings and salutations, my friends. 'Tis I, Cassunda. Due to the lovely portal system the mages have set up all around the known worlds, I was in Stormwind very quickly. I still get a bit discombobulated. I can't even get my teeth working. That shows you how bad it is. The portals throw me slightly, to use simpler words. But I arrived safely. As I stepped out of the portal room, I was met by a young man, finely dressed. one of my liaisons here. Ambassador Clankson, pleasure to meet you again, sir. We have a carriage to take you to your home. True to his word, a carriage was waiting, and it took me to the southern edge of the Old Quarter, where I have a modest home I use when here on official business. To any of you that know that area well, you also know that that edge of town is also the headquarters of a certain intelligence operation, an organisation I work with. On a freelance basis, obviously, as you can imagine. When I arrived at the home, the servants greeted me, and I was told there were guests waiting for me in the parlour. I arrived to find 2 members of said organisation waiting for me, greeted me as Cass, we're more on friendly terms, and we sat down, refreshments brought in. It was the organisation that had received the message that then was transferred to me. Cloaks were operating in Stormwind. Well, I'm sure there's probably more than that, but this particular group had been highlighted. They had received messages from someone that knew what was going on, and that it was to do with the dock workers. The organisation had started an investigation. The main thing they had uncovered was, for want of a better word, a union was starting. Situations were being riled up that the ships were using non-human labour instead of the humans. This was a human city. It should be humans using humans to work the ships. The fact that the ships coming in weren't always human vessels was seen to be a moot point to this union that was trying to be formed. Stormwind should only use human workers. It was a human town. I actually laughed, apparently, at that when that bit was said. After all, Stormwind is a melting pot of many races. It is a cultural centre. We have the embassy, where all races may meet openly. And yet these people were trying to claim Stormwind as purely human. If I hadn't been told it was a cloaks operation, that would have highlighted it straight away as a cause for concern. What else had they discovered? Well, there seemed to be a few dock workers involved, meeting up with others, talking to them, during the course of work. Apparently someone had been told they'd sidle over to groups of other human workers and just subtly start talking about what was going on, and this had started to rile things up. So much so that there had been fights at the docks, as human groups clashed with non-human groups. Now, as any of you that know dockers know, dockers are a tough breed. If you pick a fight with them, they'll fight back. Except this was being twisted. Because as soon as the guards turned up, the humans started pleading victim and saying that they had been started on first. They were clever to do it in places where there was no witnesses to start with. The fight would then spoil out into a more public area, where of course the humans were being beaten down by non-humans, and it illustrated the point the humans were making. They started the fight and then deliberately lost it to make them look better. The organisation is definitely investigating it. They are not believing any of it. Tomorrow I'm heading to the docks. I'm going to investigate this matter myself, in a more stealthy manner, I'm not going to be visible this time. I'm going to stay to the shadows and stay to the rooftops. Let's see what I can find out on the hunt. I'll be seeing you.
Oh.
All right.
It's somebody doing. Why are they trying to stir up this sort of trouble in Stormwind? Stormwind, the human city. Anybody who's ever been to Stormwind would say that. Goodness me.
No.
Well, take care, little one. Raven, how has your week in gaming been?
Not as much gaming as usual, as I would like, because I've had some quite long days at work. We've got a lot going on at the moment, and I keep smashing my hands up, which is not ideal. However, I have been a little bit in game. So Thursday we had raid, and we had a reasonably successful start to the raid. So we had an extension of our raid lockout in Voidspire, and took us a couple of goes, but we got Illyria down. Woohoo!
Hey, those feathers, man.
Yeah, those feathers. Good grief. Yeah, the first attempt, like, we didn't have any trouble with the tic tacs on Illyria. It's just the feathers didn't always work. So yeah, the first attempt, like, basically everybody died, because even though they got the buff, they got the timer, it was showing on their screens, they jumped across the gap and fell to their deaths. So that was super helpful. The second time we were a bit luckier with the feathers, but it does feel like you had to be lucky with the feathers, which was a bit frustrating. Then
it's reading, and the suggestion was that what you need to do is sort of stand on the edge and like come to a stop and then jump, and then the feather activates. And I'm like, that seems like a really crap way of making those feathers work.
Yeah.
That was the top tip from the internet.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's frustrating. It's also quite difficult to do that when the platform's being turned to lava. Like,
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Anyway, we got Illyria down, so that's good. We then nipped back to the Dream Rift to go and get the funny dragony Chimeras, that's his name, to get the funny Chimeras dude down. So we got him down again because we had a couple of people with us who weren't with us the last time we did that. And then we made our way to the March of Keldanas, and we were doing reasonably well with Bella Wren, the little burb, like a void and light burb. And then the game had some kind of like Thursday night hiccup, so I suddenly got DC'd and one of the tanks got DC'd, and then we couldn't get back into the game. It wouldn't load, like it wouldn't load my character list. Then at one point it tried to tell me that the servers were down, but they obviously weren't because everybody else was still on the servers and they were still in the game. So we ended up
decided we'd been too successful.
Yeah, so we ended up having to call it early because I couldn't get back into the game, which was just slightly annoying, and I was a bit frustrated. But there we go. So that was super patch you got going on here, Liz. Super enjoying the patch. I didn't make it into game on Friday. I was supposed to join some Mythic Plus. It looks like Graphis, we'll be hearing from later, did get some Mythic Plus done. I ended up not being home until like 8:30 by the time I'd gone and had my massage. And then I had to go to Waitrose. So yeah, I just didn't get home very quickly, and then had to cook some. It was just like, so I didn't get into game. Yesterday I also didn't get into game, but today I did. I spent a little bit of time in Harrendar this evening, so I logged in today. I went to Harrendar to do my legends, and then I was like, oh, well, whilst I'm here doing my legends, why don't I just pick up the rest of the moths? So I finished my moth catching and caught all my moths.
You are a dust lord?
I am a dust lord. I have caught all of the moths.
Yay.
Hooray! So I caught all of the moths, and then I was like, well, why don't I do that terrible treasure chest? Because there's not very many people here. So I did the 150 crystallized resin terrible treasure chest gubbins, which continued to be quite. It's just annoying. 150 is quite a lot, but anyway, that was fine. So I did that. It took me about, I don't know, about 45 minutes, maybe. It didn't feel like it took ages, but it was just a bit. It was just a bit annoying. So did that. Then I did the other chest that's in the middle, where you have to go to all the altars. You have to go and pick up a ball and put it on the altar at the top of the hill, and then you have to go and pick up a pillow and put it at the altar at the top of the hill, and then you have to pick up a knife,
like a knife or something.
Yeah. And so yes, you then have to go and make the offerings. So I went and did that. So I've done all of the treasures, and whilst I was in the zone, the last few rares that I hadn't got also popped up. So I've done all the treasures, I've done all the rares, I've got my Dust Lord. I flew all the way to the top and got my you flew all the way to the top and like passed out. And I also got stomped on. I also got stomped on by a fungal strider, because that's also because you also get an achievement for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I've got this. It's called something like that. Hold on, I've got this.
It's called like I'll hold aggro or something. Hold on, I've got aggro. Like yes, for a very short period of time. So I've cleared the map in Harrendar quite a bit. And then I went to Voidstorm because I had some thing to hand back to Decimus. So I handed the thing back to Decimus. I'm no clearer about what the thing is that I'm handing back to Decimus, but I've handed it back to him, and I've got another quest to do another thing, and I picked up another quest. So cool. It's all quests for Decimus. And that was about it that I did this afternoon. I was intending to do some delves. That was my plan, and then I got distracted catching moths. Distracted catching moths in Harrendar.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, it's a moth. But I'm quite pleased to have cleared out all of the moths off my map, because they were sort of cluttering it up a little bit. There's a lot of them. So my map is feeling less cluttered. And I've basically got everything now. So that's good. So I can turn all of the rares off in that zone, which also unclutters my map. So that's all right. So that's all I've done this week, really. I'm hoping to have some time tomorrow. I am feeding the horses tomorrow morning, but I don't have anything else to do tomorrow, and it's bank holiday. And Emma, who usually looks after the horses, has said that she will do afternoon horses because she will be back from her trip. Because we have to feed them in the morning and then we check them in the afternoon. So I've been up to horses twice today. And tomorrow I only need to do morning horses, so I can do morning horses, and then I can have some kind of like breakdown where everybody breaks into the barn or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. That it's kind of like trying to feed 7 4-year-olds. Like it's kind of like dealing with toddlers. If you ignore them or you suggest to them that they should just go somewhere else for a minute, they'll just start tearing things to pieces. The worst thing that can happen is if they all go quiet. So if you find yourself for a minute and you're like, that's weird, I can't hear any horses, then you immediately need to go and work out what they're doing, because they're probably destroying something. One of them broke out the other day. Bertie, Emma's horse, broke out the other day and ended up in somebody's garden. Fortunately, they were a horsey person, so they just put like a sweater around his neck and walked him back into the thing.
I think this is yours.
Yes. It was at 6:15 in the morning, so she managed to sort of find a field to put him in that some other horses were already in. It was like, yeah, that's fine. You can just leave him there. So yes, it's kind of like dealing with toddlers. So I'll do that in the morning, and then I'll come back and I can hopefully spend tomorrow doing some World of Warcraft and get back in my gym jams, upset the cat by taking my jeans off, and get back and play the game. And we've also got Blades in the Dark tomorrow evening, so
we do indeed.
Yeah, but yeah, not too bad. So a bit of raid, but no Mythic Plus this week. Maybe I'll see if there's some people around tomorrow afternoon. What about yourself, EJ?
I also did the crystallized river treasures in Harrendar this week. I put a top tip on Discord. I found if you changed one of your graphic settings, and if you put on one of the special color settings, it just showed them all up a little bit easier. It also made my whole screen blue and green, not blue and green and purple. It was quite aesthetically pleasing. So I zoomed up and down and did that.
Did you have phasing problems? I had a few. Yeah, I had a few, frustratingly, that disappeared when I got to them and then said, "You cannot link that." And I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
I thought that was happening because somebody had... So what I noticed was if somebody dipped down and looted one, I had X amount of time to get to it and loot it as well before it phased out, a bit like a herb does.
No, there was nobody else.
That's what I assumed. That's what I assumed it was.
No,
that happened to me a few times.
There was nobody else around.
No.
There was nobody else around. There was nobody else really doing it. I couldn't see anybody else who was also looting them at first, and it kept happening. It was extremely frustrating.
Was very frustrating. Yes. So I'm glad I've done that. Marie has reminded me that I've still got to do the one in Zulliman that requires 1,000 thingamybobs.
Yeah.
That I studiously keep not thinking about.
Yeah. I haven't done anything with that one.
So I did that. The ritual sites moved and the void storms moved. So the void assaults are now happening in Eversong, and the ritual site is now in Zulliman. So I went and did the Zulliman version of the ritual strike because there's a whole load of achievements for doing them in both places. My TLDR, the one in Zulliman takes about twice as long as the one in Eversong. Very tedious. Yeah, it's very tedious. And the end boss, you need about 57 interrupts, or you need to burn him down as quick as possible because he's much worse than the lady in Eversong.
That's not going to suit my druid at all.
No, my warlock thought this was particularly rubbish. It took a few attempts the first time I had a go. But it's done. I think I've done... The only achievements I've got left to do in ritual sites are doing them with 3 or more people. So I was going to try and get a group together on Friday night, but then water started appearing in our house. So I shall reschedule that for a different time. Yeah, I know. Reschedule that for a different time. I've taken everybody to the Dark Moon Fair and got their profession points. And I've just been thinking a little bit about characters, because obviously in the last expansion there was a lot of time, and I sort of leveled one of every ace to 80, 70, whatever. Well, 80, thank you. And I've leveled 5 characters so far, and just the thought of doing any more at the moment is just overwhelming.
I mean, that feels like quite a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, it does. And actually, like, it was an interesting project of the time, but actually, do I really need to think about all of those? So I'm trying to work out what I want to do. There's probably at least... My hunter at least will get leveled, and my druid I'm halfway through leveling. But after that, actually, what do I want to do? So that's sort of where I'm at the moment with what's going on. I'm enjoying... Oh, and the other thing is I've done all the stories on all the delves, finally.
Oh, very nice.
And I've done all the delves on a tier 11, even that terrible place up north.
Oh no, the Parhelion Plaza.
Yes. Wow. Which I never ever have to go back to now, so I'm very happy about that.
Very good.
Trey, how about yourself?
So I'm going to irritate you both by saying the plaza isn't that bad.
Yes, it is. It's terrible.
It's that last boss. That last boss is terrible.
Yeah, I can't do the last boss.
Well, maybe it's because I was on there last night with Vi, and she recently hit 90, and she needs to be geared up. So I ran her through delves, and it was just like, swish, So, I was like, oh, this doesn't seem that bad. I don't know what Raven and EJ are complaining about.
I think
Well,
so. That last boss will
well.
be easier if you're not on your own, because there's more than one of you to deal with getting those. It's those mini ads that come
Baby,
up.
yeah. Yeah, the
You've
two
got to
tiny
get those
ones.
down
Yeah.
super quick, or they eat through you.
Yep.
So yes, I'm sure if you are 2+ people, burning through those whilst everything else is going on is exponentially simpler. On your own, it's just like, oh my god, where are they? And everything's purple, and I can't find them. And
It's
yeah,
really bad.
It's,
Yeah.
Everything
don't like
Purple is the
it.
name of this episode of GGW.
Yes.
But yeah, so ran through 3 different delves to get the quest done and our vault cleared. Done a lot more of the prey. Now, this new stuff, I finally finished the rituals, all the new crap, the introductory stuff.
Yep.
I usually don't use this word to describe gaming, usually politicians, but I hate this. I do not need any more crap and currency and all this stuff.
It is a lot of different
Please.
currencies. Yeah.
Right. Please stop this blizzard. Do not want. Stop doing this. Whoever's in charge of this, get stuffed. I'm tired of it. I've been doing. We've had currency problems since Wrath of the Lich game. No, stop it, please.
Yeah.
One token, one something. No. If you need us, if you want to put something on there to fulfill your roadmap and give us something to do, this is not it. You're a billion-dollar company. Whatever you should do, new stuff like this. Tired of. But anyway, I did the stuff. I, went outside. I saw the sun. I had 8 hours of sleep. This still sucks. But it's because it triggers my whole. I need to do everything. I need to collect all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get all the transbogs, all the pets, all the mounts, even if they look like ass. It's like, guys, stop giving us so much stuff to do. Keep it simple. Make it easy. Come on, guys. So, but yeah, I've done. Thank you for EJ for putting the whole thing as far as in Discord, as far as, hey, this is coming up. This is not coming up. That sort of thing. That like Dark Moon Fair is coming up. Things like that. Those things like that. I appreciate that, because I was going to be like, hey, Dark Moon Fair. Oh, EJ and Maria have already said something. But as far as gaming, just Warcraft. I logged into Warcraft on the other monitor to see what else I've done. Oh, is anybody else having the relic coffers issue where you sneeze and you've got 600 and you're tapped out for the week?
Oh, the coffer keys to get your keys for your bountiful delves. Yes. Yeah. I used to, back in the War Within, I had to make a conscious effort to make sure I got enough each week. Whereas, lifting a rock up gives you 100 coffer keys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So quite early in the week, I stopped being able to collect anymore, which is fine, because I always have enough to do all of the bountiful delves that I want to do. It's a shame that when you've collected enough, they don't turn into marl or something instead. But yes, they do seem to be dropping literally everywhere right now.
I've started doing more of the prey quests, and it's interesting, depending on which one you get. The ones that ambush you and then knock you over. You're like, oh my god, really? I'm in the middle of 6 elites attacking me, and now you want to ambush me? But it's fun to do, but it's frustrating, and I'll stop now so I don't end up being too much ranting.
We are going to talk about prey in a few weeks' time, so
I will have opinions about it.
Great. Good. I'm sure a lot of people were, but yes, we're going to talk about prey in a couple of weeks, just to give everyone the opportunity to at least pop their toe into it.
Yes.
What about the rest of you lovely folks? Well, pardon me. Oh, goodness. Salmis and friends and family ran a Majesty's Terrace for the rep quest. Rectual Healing ran a +10 Academy key. And Salmis used his first bonus roll to get a eye level 272 Mythic Wrist.
Oh, amazing.
Congratulations. Oh, Salmis loves Decimus. In the Void Spire, the dragons were defeated, and they had a couple of pulls on the paladins before he had to briefly step away. When he returned, they were extinguished on the floor.
Very good.
His monk leveled through Harandar and into Void Strikes. And she has one more level to go.
Yes, the paladins are much easier than the dragons. If you can do the dragons, probably the paladins are fine. Marie has collected most of the Abyssal Anglers achievements, become a Dust Lord, wrapped up a few things, and now she's mostly in the weekly task phase or needs groups to do things like Elite Res. She enjoyed the Anglers a lot more than expected, as it's a chill loop with good reward pacing, and even Nessie wasn't too bad once she'd read up about the fight. Yeah, maybe I'll try some of that tomorrow. I haven't tried it yet.
Totally agree. Cheryl and their raiding team killed a new boss, and then it's been all about BG3 with just the Elder Brain left to deal with.
Very good. Graphis has done a ton of Mythic Plus with a decent run through the Academy, and then they were asked to tank a +8. And it went about as well you might expect for someone's first time this expansion. But with only 53 deaths, they crawled over the line. Oh my god, grats. Grats. Graphis would like to thank the group for their patience, and as awful as it was in places, it was a great experience. They have a few more places to work on should they tank again, hopefully at a more appropriate key level, lol. The two keys they did on their monk were very smooth in comparison. They also have a second monk at 90, so they need to work out which niches they can fill. Oh, very successful week, Graphis.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, come and tank. Oh, a +8, you say? Anna was apologising in the community chat when I logged in, and I'm like, what did you do to Graphis?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Am's completed the post-campaign quest in the new raid. He had a look around the new content, but is not sure he gets the point of or the appeal for any of it. But he did get a super rare delve pet called Zyog Faron. Gosh, that's a mouthful. But congrats.
Congrats. And I feel you on the point or the appeal. But anyway. Rack hopes that everybody had a productive and successful week. They're starting to ponder why they play WoW and what they're getting out of it. Oh dear. The new patch has left them feeling overwhelmed with tasks to do when they were already feeling behind. Oh, I feel you so much, Rack. Prey, Delve, Mythic Plus and Raids are genuinely fun, but the other dozen weekly tasks or events or finishing Sojourner, not so much. So they stepped away from the grind and spent an entire evening working on their house, which was very relaxing. They also picked up Classic again, working on a Paladin, having fun by taking it slow and enjoying the adventure. They come into terms with being a player that doesn't do all the things, but just those that give joy. Oh, and they also managed to hit 3k this week. It feels weird that this feels like an afterthought and not a highlight. Yeah, I do know exactly what you mean. This is partly why I spent today chasing, like, moths and other stuff. I logged in and I was like, oh, I've got to do that. Oh, and I've got to do that. Oh, and and we've got ritual sites and we've got more of those void things. And I haven't done any of the weekly things. Oh, I need to go and host a party. Oh, I suppose, like, all this, like, I was just like, oh no, I don't want to do any of these things. So instead I just went and ate some moths.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I think it's very... I think that many of us struggle sometimes with that, oh, I need to tick all the boxes. And actually it's perfectly okay to say, actually, not all the boxes are for me.
I just wish you could turn some of them off. Like, it's the difficulty is just the, like, when you look at the map and just everything's there, and now everything's got its own, like, they've gone really mad on, like, different icons and different, like, the map legend is now really confusing, and, like, is this a daily quest or a weekly quest, or is it a pink quest or a blue quest or a, like, or an ordinary quest? And then all of the, like, events have their own little circles to do little circle things, and I just wish you could turn some of it off, because then it's like, this doesn't concern me, so I'm not going to think about it. And I wouldn't mind if you could do it on a kind of case-by-case basis. Like, maybe you could right-click on it and be like, I don't ever want you to tell me about Cithariel's party. He can have as many parties. He can have all the parties he wants. He's very welcome to have his party. I don't want to know about his party. I don't want to know about the Stormarian Citadel. I don't want to know about PvP. If I could just tailor what was on my map, then I'd be happier.
So would
Raven, I mean this. Oh, sorry.
Would a map add-on
my map
did that for you? Would that be enough, or would you like Blizzard to be able to?
I mean, I think
you like there to be a bronze dragon where you can go, "Hello, I understand there are a series of events, and you could go in. Like the Torren, you can go and see, and you say, "Hello, when I'm out fishing, I want to see my fishing rod, but as soon as I finish that, I don't want to see it." But like a dragon who could do that for events, if I want to do the event, I'll do it.
Hang on, stop. There's a Torren you can see about fishing rods.
So there's a Torren you can see over by the professions quests.
Right.
And you can ask her, because when you go and like pick a herb, it puts your hat on.
Yeah, it puts my hat on
your
a little
backpack.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and sometimes that will stay on until some other thing happens. So
I mean, I've seen quite a lot. I've seen myself in many cutscenes with my little summer bonnet on and my little like here I am having a very important story beat at the end of the world, and I've got my little summer hat on with all my flowers and my little backpack. Yep, quite enjoy it. Yeah. It's less exciting if I've been fishing because I use the underlight angler, and my underlight angler is not the most. It's not the most beautiful fishing pole in existence.
Well, for you, there is a Torren you can go and speak to, and she has options, and you can limit how often that shows. So you can have it showing all the time.
I had no idea.
You can have it showing only when you're doing the profession action.
Right.
And and there are different options for each of your professions, so you can set it at a per profession preference.
Oh, well, I had no idea that Torren existed. To answer the question you were actually asking me, the trouble is, most of the map add-ons, because I do have a map add-on, and I've looked at other map add-ons, sometimes you can get them so you can turn a particular, class of something off, but I almost want it on a, per thing basis. I don't want all of the world events turned off. Maybe I just don't want to see the Stormarian assault, or I don't want to know about Cithariel's fucking party. But I don't mind hearing about other world events that might be on around the place. I think Blizzard, and I kind of think Blizzard should do it. I just kind of feel like it's something that Blizzard should do. Caveat for the underlight angler. If I heard its appearance, I also don't get its water breathing and water walking buffs, says Salmis. Oh, that's exciting. So if you can't see the underlight angler, it can't help you breathe. How exciting. Yes, Marie, having the prey guy turned off, they're just big icons, and it would be nice to turn them off. Maybe I need to go and do some more digging. Maybe there is an add-on that would help me. Listeners, if there's an add-on where you can turn these sorts of things off, my map add-on doesn't let me do it, but maybe there's a different map add-on. Maybe it is specific enough to make my life easier. I don't like a cluttered map. And I feel like my map is very cluttered, and it stresses me out. So, yeah.
Do you just want it not to be on the map, or do you want no NPCs to talk to you about it unless you go and switch it back on?
I mean, ultimately, I would love the latter. However, I'm not anticipating that anybody's going to be able to do that for me right now. So yes, ultimately, if Blizzard had a little dragon with a little chart, I think I've discussed this previously, I want a little dragon with a little sort of console, where you can go in and be like, yes, hello, my personalised World of Warcraft experience, thank you Bronze Dragonflight, is I don't ever want to hear you talk to me about PvP. I don't ever want you to hear you talk to me about I don't know, I'll do some more Prey because we're going to talk about it soon, but I want to be able to turn things on and off. So I would love a little bronze dragon flight that was just like curating my own personal World of Warcraft experience. However, I would settle briefly for a map add-on that would, but that could do it on a very specific basis. Also, it might be nice to turn off particular fucking world quests that annoyed you, but obviously a world quest is going to pop up the instant you go into the zone, so it doesn't really fucking help because you fly past and then everything's like, oh, here it is. Anyway, that's enough whining from me. Let's do the show wrap up, EJ, or else I'll be here ranting all night.
Okay, fair enough. Trey, thank you for joining us. It's been lovely to have you with us.
Thank you all for having me.
If you want to get in touch with us, the best place to find us is on Discord at bit.ly/GDW-Discord. We'd love it if you drop us a follow over on Blue Sky at GDW Show, or subscribe to our YouTube at GDW Show. Remember, if you enjoyed the show, drop a like, follow, or a little review on your platform of choice to help other people find us.
Next week, we'll be talking about delves, glorious delves. Tell us your thought on Midnight's collection of delves and how's it going with Valera Sanguinar. Well, yeah. Have you installed the add-on to shut her up yet? Tell us.
I'd like her to stop. Well, I'll talk about what I'd like her to stop next week.
I'd like her to stop all sorts of things. I'd also like her to start showing up occasionally. That would be nice. Yeah. Anyway, next week.
Yeah,
indeed. Thank you for listening each and every week. If you are coming to LFG London, come and say hello.
Come and say hello.
And we'll see you in 7 days. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.